I have so many blisters from making this. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I've been thinking about making a proper journal for quite a while now. And when I discovered bullet journals, I just had to try it. Bullet journals are a very artistic way of organising yourself and encouraging you to set goals and stick with them. With the terrible time that was 2019, I thought what better way to start off the new year than trying to ensure history does not repeat itself. The start of a new year is a great time to start off a new project. Plus, it's a waxing moon at the moment, making it the perfect time to try and sort out the mess that is your life, Michelle. So without further ado, let's get started. First things first, get your supplies. After a quick trip to Officeworks and $36 later, remember that figure because it's important for later, I had obtained a dotted notebook and a bunch of colourful Sharpie fine liners that apparently will not bleed through paper, which is excellent. Sadly, some of these colours weren't very vibrant, but they did the job. Next, I think it's super important to plan out your journal. Since I only had 144 pages to work with, I had to carefully plan out how I was going to fit 52 two-page spread weeks, plus 12 two-page spreads for each new month, and all the random pages that I'm putting in at the start. Doing the math, I ended up with 16 pages to do whatever I wanted at the beginning. But sadly for an engineer, I'm apparently not very good at math, and I was 1 page short. But that's a problem for December, Michelle. So now it's time for more math. Here, I'm trying to neatly space out a full year calendar for important dates like birthdays, and so I can see the big picture of the year. Remember that this year is a leap year, so don't miss out on February 29th. I found that having my Google Calendar on hand helped immensely and also allowed me to discover that I don't know how to spell February. Awesome. On the side, I've left space for key dates and birthdays. There's another blank space there, which you'll see in just a second, because I didn't know what to put there. But I'll work that out later. Moving on. Next, I wanted a space for my goals. I ended up splitting these up into 6 sections: life, pets, uni, work, fitness, and Wicca. Life is for everyday things and my outlook on life. Here I wrote down my goal of getting up early and also being happy and confident. Self-confidence in real life is a big thing for me, and I'm hoping to improve upon it this year. Pets is mainly for my projects rather than goals. This year I'm planning on setting up my first saltwater aquarium. It feels like a big leap from freshwater, but I'm sure it's completely within my grasp and it's going to be an amazing process and result. Uni is about my grades, how I study, and my day-to-day life at uni. As with past years, I continuously want to improve upon my grades and be able to study more efficiently, but I also want to focus on the social aspects of uni as well. Work is about employment, but also anything to do with income. This year I'm excited about finding a new job, but also putting time and effort into YouTube and my Etsy shop. I don't expect to be monetizing YouTube anytime soon, but boy, it would be nice. Fitness is about keeping in shape and setting flexibility and strength goals. I want to make sure I set aside some time every day for fitness, even if it's just a quick stretch or a walk. I also want to finally conquer the splits this year. Wouldn't that be nice? Wicca is about all things to do with my craft. I wanted to write witchcraft as it's more of a broad term, but it didn't fit in the space that I left for it. This year I want to put more effort into the Sabbats and moon cycles, but I also want to focus more on tarot and become really confident with it. And now, finance. Here I wanted to keep track of my monthly earnings and spendings. I want to try to minimise how much I spend, and I think this is a good way to do it. I have also included a section called saving goals, which for me is to note down key things I want to spend money on and save towards. This allows me to focus my savings into areas I care about most. And now my YouTube spread. I want to start getting more serious about YouTube, and organising myself is a good way to start. I got the idea for this page from Best Dress. She has a video on her channel about her bullet journal, and she included this page and it was just looking so awesome and so well organised. And I really love the layout because I only post on Fridays, so I don't need like a full calendar spread. And this way I could just write down the Friday dates and organise all the videos appropriately. I've also left a space for my YouTube ideas. So this is where I can jot down future video ideas for reference later. I've separated these into 4 main areas of Wicca and Witchcraft, Art and Creations, Pets and Fish Keeping, and Other, to easily focus on one section at a time. Next are my movie and book tracker sections. The movie tracker took quite a while to create, but I'm happy with how it turned out. Here I can write down any movies or series I've finished and how I rate them. This allows me to be able to look back at any new films and remember my initial thoughts of them. This took a lot of maths, a lot of ruling, a lot of crossing out and redoing, and trying to work out how to make the little foldy thingy so it looks like it's in 3D. Took a while. My book tracker seems significantly smaller, and that's because I don't really read a lot anymore. But that's going to change this year. I'm hoping that almost every night when I'm in bed, I can snuggle up to a book for a few chapters instead of checking my phone. I'm hoping this is also going to help with my good old sleep deprivation. That would be nice. Next, I've set aside a page for my usernames and passwords. I have these jumbled all over the place, and it seems like I'm constantly resetting passwords because I just can't remember what it is. And I try like a billion and it's none of them. And then it ends up being the first one I tried, but I made a spelling mistake or something, and it's just a pain. But this way I can keep track of them all. And I can also decide whether to change passwords, depending on if there's any similarities or if the strength just doesn't seem strong enough. Next time around, I'll probably simplify these logos though, as they seem a bit busy and wasn't overly happy with how they turned out. But that's for 2021, Michelle. After that, I've just left a bunch of blank pages for whatever else I want to fill in over the year. At this stage, they're going to be blank. I can't think of anything else I want in these pages. And now on to the month of January. Here I've included a calendar page so I can organise key dates and deadlines. In the future I'll also be filling in a lunar cycle and any Sabbath dates as well into this. The space I've left beside key dates, that ends up being filled up with a to-do list and notes for the month. At the time I wasn't really sure what I wanted to put in there, but I decided this was the best way to do it. I then created a daily finance tracker and a habit tracker. Remember that $36? Well, this is where it comes in. The habit tracker will also allow me to check on how much I'm exercising and how much I'm doing what I love. I hope to be able to cross-check this with a mood tracker in the future to see if there's any correlations and see if there's any way I can change my day-to-day life for the better. And now on to the weekly spread. After scrolling Pinterest for hours, I came up with this spread. This includes a tiny month calendar so I can see the week space in the month, as well as a mood tracker and a weather tracker. Each day of the week gets its own space for planning, notes and to-do lists. I've also included a section under Sunday called Week in Review where I can add in a weekly reflection. I went ahead and filled up the entire month's worth and then stopped there, as I'm planning on writing out the months, well, month by month, instead of all at once. Once I got the hang of this, it didn't take that long to do, which was very surprising, but I did get a lot of blisters. So be aware that if you don't write, you're gonna get a lot of blisters doing this. I later went back and added in a weekly to-do list for the big items that had no set date and filled in the week's weather. These numbers are in Celsius, so please don't freak out. It's not Fahrenheit, it's Celsius. Not freezing, it's fine. I decided that to mark the habit tracker, I was going to use like minimalistic dots instead of colouring the squares because I thought it might look a bit neater, but we'll see how that goes. I then went back and added in a guide for the mood tracker under the book tracker, since we all know I'm not going to fill up that entire page. It's fine, I can add little things in that one. The next day after making this, I remembered about my goal for reading tarot more often, so I decided that that blank section that was left in the weekly spread could be used for tarot notes. Hopefully that's going to keep my goal on track. And now for what you've all been waiting for, the montage. Inspired by it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you did. And there's also that little bell icon you can click so you don't miss a single video. Don't forget to do that as well. That's always helpful. I wish you all a wonderful new year and I'll see you guys next Friday. Bye.